For a game called Arctic Combat, it sure takes its fights mostly on urban and desert settings. Geographical arguing aside, this free-to-play shooter, previously known as Battery in South Korea, has its share of good action. However, it may not be strong enough to differentiate itself from the likes of Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, even with its free-to-play model. Arctic Combat is definitely twitchy and fast like recent Call of Duty titles. The most basic strategy work here. Don't go alone, camping helps exponentially, work together with your 5-man team or less, and always flush out potential threats in corridors and rooms with grenades. The Unreal Engine 2.5 sure makes Arctic Combat look good. We're not talking Warface pretty, but what we get to see in terms of details and environments colored us impressed. There are a couple of modes up on tap, but the one we played the most on the North American and European servers are Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Free For All. New players can get a feel of the game's controls by checking out the tutorial on the front page. But really, with so many of these games out the past few years, core shooter fans can just jump into the fray just fine. Weapons are based off real-life guns. The SCAR, M14A, the AK-47, Uzis, you know, the usual suspects. Each of them handled differently as one would imagine from these kind of games. Increasing your gun options will require you to play a number of games for in-game points. These points can be cashed in the item shop. You get your weapons, your sidearms, your grenades, and also your special action slots. The latter comes in both active and passive form. The former is available after getting a 4 or more kill streak, while the latter buffs you up for the entire match. From your streaks, you get to use the awesome power of the rocket launcher or UAV or airstrike drops. These special abilities can also be procured from a dead foe, provided they were using it in the first place. So even if you're terrible at getting that kill streak, there's always a way for you to call in airstrikes of your own. The build we participated in had 2 new maps, Vintage and Downtown. The former was a Wild West style area with boxes and crates in the field that can be used as cover, while the latter was set in, well, downtown and had good sniping and ambush spots. The overall maps are designed to be small and contained, so that confrontations can be resolved as timely as possible. One caveat stood out from our recent multiplayer sessions. The tactic of grenade spamming in open air spots is way too common in multiplayer. A lot of times, you get killed because of a random explosion from God knows where. All of this brings us to the ultimate question. Even if it's free, is it worth investing time on it so far? It's not as methodical as Counter-Strike, that's for sure, but it's fast enough to satisfy fans of fast military-based action games. The production values are adequate given its free-to-play pedigree, and the controls and gunplay are entertaining enough, though it's playing it safe with an overtly used formula. The closed beta session recently concluded on October 22nd, but Arctic Combat will be in open beta on December 6th.